Hey! Let's discuss what is supply, the factors affecting supply, the law of supply, the law of demand and supply, the equilibrium price or market clearing price, and the supply and demand curves. What is supply? This is a fundamental economic concept which states the total amount of a specific product or service that is available to consumers is known as supply. Supply is the amount of a product or service that producers are willing and able to provide at a given price and time, and it plays a crucial role in determining market equilibrium and prices. The concept of supply is very closely related to the demand for a good or service at a specific price. Unlike demand, the supply represented by the upward sloping curve in graphical models. Supply can be in produced goods, labor time, raw materials, or any other scarce or valuable object. Supply can refer to anything in demand that is sold in a competitive marketplace. In economics, consumers influence the supply of a product or service by indicating they need more units of a product or service, which drives prices higher. What are the factors affecting supply? The supply of a product or service is influenced by various factors such as the cost of production, the level of technology used, availability of resources, price of related goods, government policies, and the number of competitors in the market. What is the law of supply? The law of supply in economics explains the reaction of the supplier when the prices in the market change. In simple words, the law of supply says higher prices boost supply of an economic good or service while lower ones tend to diminish it. When the price of a good or service is high, the quantity supplied is high. When the price of a good or service is low, the quantity supplied is low. What is the law of supply and demand? The law of supply and demand states that if a product or service has a high demand and low supply, the price will increase. Conversely, if there is low demand and high supply, the price will decrease. The law of supply and demand combines two fundamental economic principles describing how changes in the price of a resource, commodity, or product affect its supply and demand. In a competitive market, the price of a product or service will tend to adjust to the point where the quantity supplied equals the quantity demanded, leading to a state of equilibrium or market clearing price. What is equilibrium price? In economics, the equilibrium price or market clearing price is the price at which the quantity of a product or service supplied by producers is equal to the quantity demanded by consumers in a given market. It is the price at which the market is in balance, and there is no excess supply or demand. The equilibrium price is determined by the intersection of the supply and demand curves in a graphical model. It is an important concept in economics as it helps to determine prices and quantities of goods and services in a market economy. What is supply and demand curve? In economics, the supply and demand curve is a graphical representation of the relationship between the quantity of a product or service supplied by producers and the quantity demanded by consumers in a given market, as well as the price of the product or service. The supply curve is a graphic representation of the relationship between the cost of an item and the quantity the market will supply at that cost. Whereas, the demand curve represents the relationship between the quantity of a product or service that consumers are willing and able to buy and the price of a product or service. The intersection of the supply and demand curves represents the equilibrium price or the market clearing price, where the quantity supplied equals the quantity demanded, and the market is in balance. This is the point where the market price of the product or service is determined.